Talking Chicago Bears football, DJ podcast. Man, 2 wins in a row here, and Caleb Williams is looking awesome. I've been going into this game versus Carolina Panthers. You know, some people put doubts in your head thinking, boy, are we that bad of a team that we could possibly lose the Carolina Panthers and Andy Dalton? I mean, everyone's saying, oh, Andy looks like a really good veteran quarterback out there. You know, just putting the Panthers on like an even pace. It's like, come on. It's Andy Dalton. The Red Rocket, as they call him. The Bears signed him last year. It was last year or 2 years ago, and trust me, he's not that good. He's gonna be one of those bridge quarterbacks for many years. He's never gonna be the total all-out starter again for any team. The Panthers might continue with him more this year and play him, you know, just because Bryce Young has become such a failure of a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like he really was a bust for Carolina anyway. I'm not saying that Bryce Young can't come back and win, but can't come back and start some more games this season. Who knows? Maybe Andy Dalton gets injured. I'm sure he'll be in there if that happens. Keep in mind, this was the guy that the Bears, quote unquote, passed up on, was Bryce Young. You know, that's one of the big storylines of this game. Is if it wasn't for Carolina, the Bears wouldn't have Caleb Williams right now. If it wasn't for Carolina making such a terrible trade with the Bears, I mean, it was an awesome trade for the Bears, a terrible trade for Carolina, taking a little short guy, Bryce Young, and really showing us that these outside teams need big, strong players. Like Caleb Williams is a big, strong quarterback. And this game, look, one thing that I want to say about it is that some people are going to say, dude, relax. You won. The Bears beat one of the worst teams in the NFL. Yeah, they beat them 36-10. You know, it wasn't a showdown game. It wasn't like 24-17. You know, just a little squeak by. It actually looked like a professional NFL team coming together, playing fast, and putting together what felt. See, that's something I've been looking for this entire time. Is a game that feels like the Bears know what they're doing. It's been something they were lacking even last week's game versus the Rams. You know, you felt like they had a pretty good control over that game. But last week they had like 80 yards in penalties. This week, much better. They were 5 for 46. It's improvement. You pretty much cut your penalties in half this week. So that really helped out. On the flip side, you had Carolina with 4 for 18. So one thing Carolina can say is that they were a little bit more disciplined than the Bears, but whatever. So Caleb Williams this week went 20 for 29, 304 yards, 10-point yards average on that. That's awesome. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. There's a key right there. And I don't think there was one moment where you felt like, oh, geez, he really threw this into bad coverage and it should have been an interception. Like I don't think there was a single play when I was watching this game. I was kind of looking for that type of stuff. Not a single play where you go, he should have thrown it there and get away with it. He was only sacked 1 time for 8 pressures. Once again, going up against the Panthers team, but we should be looking that good. With 1 sack, I could handle 1 sack. I can handle 1 sack. Caleb did have some pretty good rushing yards in this game, which is always something that I'm always saying I'm not really like totally I'm never really totally too excited about Caleb about your quarterback rushings, but he had 5 for 31. So we're not rushing too much. And something I noticed is he did leave the pocket on one of them for DJ Moore where he actually left the pocket and you thought he was being like triple double team, but then Caleb Williams said, "No, I'm actually just looking for the better passing lane." So I see him rolling out and looking for a better passing lane, keeping his eye on his receiver, and really showing us that he's reading the field. It's something I didn't see very often from Justin Fields. It was something where I was just kind of like, oh. It's something where I was just kind of like going, wow. Caleb Williams looks like a professional quarterback who knows how to run out and find someone downfield and open up his passing lanes by getting out front. The whole game, the announcers are saying like exactly what Caleb Williams did. They were talking to Caleb Williams before the game, saying, I'm not gonna let any of the pressure get to me in this game. He's really learning how to be a pocket quarterback, pass the ball quickly. I don't think I was counting to 5 seconds on any of these dropbacks. Usually every single week there's at least 3 or 4 times where it's like they snap the ball, Caleb Williams has the ball, and it's like 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. I'm like, well, he really needs to throw the ball. I never felt like that this entire game. I felt like he was on point this entire game, especially DJ Moore, especially connecting with DJ Moore finally in this game. We've been saying that he needs to connect with him more. In this game, it actually looked good. 5 receptions, 8 targets, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. And those 2 touchdowns were 30-plus yards. He waited until Moore got open, connected with him down, and DJ Moore did some zigzag cuts and made it. And the other one was just an over-the-top, perfectly thrown ball, exactly where you would say, wow, that is a top 10 quarterback type of throw. The type of throw that you really try and you just hope that your quarterback's going to make. We're finally seeing those plays by Caleb Williams. And one thing that I really want to point out that I keep seeing week in and week out from Caleb Williams that kind of makes me excited is that he has 8 targets to DJ Moore, which is fine. Moore is the number 1 wide receiver on this team. But next after that, he has Rome Odunze 6 targets. We're just talking targets here. Keenan Allen 6, Cole Kmet 4, DeAndre Swift 2 passing targets, which he's a running back, so that's fine. And Gerald Everett tight end with 2 targets. He's spreading this ball around really well, and I'm happy to see that like out of his 28 targets, only 8 of them went to DJ Moore, and the rest were spread out pretty evenly. And to the people you'd want them to be spread out too, Rome Odunze and Keenan Allen. It says that he's finally using his weapons, giving the ball to his weapons, and letting the play unfold the way that you want to see a professional play unfold. Really exciting stuff from Caleb Williams this week. Totally exactly what we've been looking for this season. This is what we wanted. And once again, people are going to say, Dave, it was the Panthers. And it's one of the worst teams in the NFL. Dave, it's the Rams. One of the worst teams in the NFL. They're beating, especially it was the Rams without Cooper Kupp. Injured Rams. The Rams are a good team, but not when they're all banged up. Yeah, but they beat these teams. They beat these teams looking good. 36-10 versus the Panthers. Yeah, that is what we want to see. 24-18 versus the Rams. That's what we want to see when they're missing Cooper Kupp. But one thing with this Panthers game is the Bears were in control of the game the entire time. There wasn't a moment where they looked bad. They didn't look bad. The coaching, there was one bad coaching thing where I kind of felt as much as I want to see Roschon Johnson at the goal line, Roschon Johnson had an awesome game, by the way. Before I even kind of get into my point, Roschon Johnson had 10 carries for 25 yards, but the main thing that he did that we wanted to see is he had 2 touchdowns, and those quick. I don't need him to get 50 yards. I don't need Johnson to get 50 yards. I don't even care that his 10 carries was only for 2.5 yards an average, because we're trying to get first downs with him. He's the 4th and 2 guy. He's the 3rd and goal on the 1 yard guy. So we're using our stars, we're using our players how you expect them to be used. And that's what I was deciding to see with Roschon Johnson. And he did what he had to do. But back to what I kind of consider the only real bad coaching part of the game. And honestly, if this is the only thing that we can complain about with the coaching this week, we're doing a whole lot better. It helps when you win 36-10, is on the goal line, 3 runs in a row, Roschon Johnson. The defense, as soon as you see Roschon Johnson, the defense is going to be able to say, they're running the ball, Roschon Johnson. You need to do some plays with Roschon Johnson where you find Cole Kmet or Roma Dunze on a slant route. We can't have every single play where Roschon gets in the game, it's a run play. That was the only thing where it's like a good defense is going to eat that up. It's going to eat that up. Redeemed himself at the end of the game with another touchdown, exactly how you want it. Like I said, those 4th and 2, those powerhouse rushes, Roschon Johnson. Let's just get in the end zone, Roschon. Like that's kind of how I feel about him, and that's what we want to see. Continuing with rushing, Swift, 21 for 73 yards and a touchdown, just rushing. That's the type of game we want to see for Swift, and we've seen that back-to-back games now. These games are really going to supercharge them to hopefully like when we go and play the Jacksonville Jaguars next week, Swift can just carry in London game. I hate those. Swift can just carry his momentum and really show us what he's made of. This is what we want to see. About 70 yards a game for him, 80 yards a game. That's not including, let's see, what he had receiving. 2 for 47. So that's good. It means that he broke a lot of tackles. And one of them was 42. So yeah, so he had which we don't need Swift with to be the great receiver and great rusher. But it's good to see him. It's good to see him just break off a run and do it, and put some. Look, the Bears paying him big money. Bears paying him big money to go out there and put up some yards, put up some points, and have games like this. 2 in a row from him. DeAndre Swift looking good out there. And what more can we ask? What more can we ask out of this Bears team playing a bad Panthers team, going up there winning 36-10? Exactly how we want to see it. They never put their foot down on the brake. They never totally. The defense continued to conquer throughout the game. The offense scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter, which is really those moments. There's those moments. What we saw from this game, it was scoring in each quarter from the Bears. With their third quarter being the worst, they didn't score a touchdown in the third, but they scored one in the fourth. Some second half points. 9 second half points when you're already up by like 13 is awesome. You're already up by 20. They went in at halftime up by 20. And we're able to add in another touchdown and a field goal. And they didn't kick the extra point after the final touchdown because the game was already over. So it's good to see that your second quarter had your 20 points, and that's awesome. It's good to see that they didn't completely stop. This game wasn't 20-7 final. They added on to it. It'd be awesome if they got a touchdown in the third and just completely dominated to the ultimate max. But in the third quarter, they smartly slowed down the game, took a little more time on possession, and said, "Hey, this is our game. We're gonna make sure that you don't have that much time, and our defense is gonna handle you anyways." Holding Carolina to 10 points, and it really was only that first touchdown run in the first quarter. That was pretty much the entire Carolina offense after that. It was really cool, really good game. It's that type of game that makes you excited for the Bears season. You wait for it the entire summer. You go this entire time from February. The Super Bowl ends, and you want the NFL to start back up again. And here we are, Caleb Williams, number 1 overall draft. And we started out shaky, but progressed every single week. And Caleb Williams keeps showing us every single week what he can do. And I'm hoping. Look, I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to say this is the Bears franchise quarterback. I think it will be. The Bears franchise quarterback. If I had to predict right now, it will be. But I just do want caution to the wind. It's Chicago, the team that continuously ruins quarterbacks. But I really think that Caleb Williams is going to be something special. And you see it in games like this where he wins efficiently. Winning efficiently. It's something that you don't see, especially from Chicago Bears quarterbacks. You don't see 18. I'm sorry. You don't see 20 for 29, 2 touchdowns. You don't see that very often with Bears quarterbacks. So I think it's good to be excited. It's good to say Bears win. And it's good to say let's get Jacksonville next week, guys. That's going to be the show for this week. Bear down. Let's go.